Well, anyhow, sounds like you got a hurricane going on in the background. What is what it is?
Is it me? Maybe.
Could be. It's probably just the fan, is my bet. Well, you're on mute now. Let's see.
Is that better or no?
Much better.
Okay.
But yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your sweet Prince JJ McCarthy, Grant. But hopefully it's just 6 weeks.
I don't think he was really gonna have any chance of starting right away anyway, so I don't think it should matter too much. But he looks pretty good in that preseason game.
That he does. All right. I can't wait to just start stacking a ridiculous amount of Justin Jefferson soon. Drafts are about to be very fun because of all the chaos.
Yeah, how heavily are you reading into the Gibbs news?
I'm just buying the dip. I'm not overthinking it too drastically.
Feels like the right idea.
All right, so let's see. We have the rainforest back now. Not sure which one.
The rainforest.
That's what I find the wild noise in the background.
Oh, okay. I thought these headphones might work.
Let's see here. All right. Trying to see. All right, let's go ahead and do. What is the most optimal way to get people into these drafts quickly? Try just do a regular little stream here. So I'll switch it to this one.
All right, looks like we got Pulisic in this one.
That'll be fun. See the
We also
Tuka
got-
Doncic.
G Packer fan, who I think is Green Kickers of the Discord.
We'll go live receiver rankings for a little bit to annoy the world and see what that does. Drum up a little buzz.
Oh, yeah. So we got the gut in here.
The gut. It's a fun game. Power mode.
How does Jefferson jump for you?
I mean, it's the same bet. Just people are going to put it lower because they're like, oh my God, it's Sam Darnold guaranteed now. And it's like,
that is
a
better.
bet on O'Connell. Like, yeah, but people just go too much off of name recognition, unfortunately. They don't just understand that the scheme is just probably too good. Where should I draft from today?
Draft from the 2.
2. All right, we'll do the 2. So we just need 6 more. 6 more in the draft.
Need 6 more heads. Yeah, shame about Tyrone Tracy too.
Bro, it's just not been a good day for the running backs.
Do they know what it ended up being?
I didn't look into it past him getting carted off the field.
Yeah.
Are you going to tap into Contender Series tonight, do you think?
I'll throw it on for sure.
I like where Lone Air Kavanaugh's odds settled.
What are they right now?
Minus 150.
Okay, yeah. It was like closer to 2 before.
Yeah. I think he was like close to minus 250 before.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we got Joe Delgado in here. We only need 4 more spots.
I feel like sleepers auto pick things are usually not bad too. Like,
Yeah, no, they usually draft pretty well.
yeah.
Unlike, well, actually, I don't know, dude. This one guy went on auto for a while in that 18 team draft I did on Sleeper, and he got like 4 QBs.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
I know. It's nice for me though. I think he got Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson, Jordan Love, and
So he took them like early.
yeah, like hella early.
Yeah,
He
that's
was,
weird.
he was at like a carnival or something.
Oh, it's someone in like a league you're actually in?
Yeah.
I feel like it's also different when it's like starts as auto pick versus when it like kicks into it for whatever reason.
Yeah. I'm happy though about it. It's just like in an 18-man league, you need some teams to get weeded out early.
Yeah. I mean, he is gonna have like 3 QB1s in an 18-team league though. He's gonna be dealing those things.
Yeah, true. Another guy in the league like tried to play RB merchant and drafted all RBs in the first 4 rounds.
Huh?
But there are some pretty nice teams. Okay, we only need 2 more here. One more team. Come on. Who's it going to be? Oh, we're full. Let's get this thing going. All right. You guys ready?
You can just see Wells talking over there.
Sorry, yapping away here.
Yeah.
All right. I honestly think you can go really with anyone. As you guys know, my favorite flavor of ice cream in the first round is Bijan Robinson. So that is the guy that I like to go with the most here. Now I'm going to flip it back so people can have the correct background if they want to join us here on YouTube. But yeah, Justin Jefferson going that high. Don't blame you. Let's see here. Yes, Toothless. What is your deal today, sir? Bum, 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 bum. I need to figure out how to switch the backgrounds on live during TikTok. I still can't find the setting to do it. Somebody was trying to tell me how to do it today. I still couldn't figure it out. Let's see here.
Come on!
Isn't it just that little like filter thing in the bottom?
Looks like
I
we've
see
got
series. No, I don't see it in series. I don't see it share. Enhance, maybe?
Weird.
Cool.
I feel
Oh,
like-
background. It
Yeah.
is. Oh, okay. It's all the way down to the bottom right. Okay, that's very good to know for future.
it's a good
reference.
spot to get Brees for Mexi Madden here.
Okay,
For
that's
sure.
good to know. Now I know that for future reference. I feel a billion times smarter. Okay, well now I can flip around backgrounds a lot easier.
In my main league, it's a keeper league, so there's like 4 first-round running backs that are people's keepers, and so I'm picking like 13, and the board is like Devontae and like Drake London. It's pretty gross.
Let's see, Puka. Always fun to see how the board falls.
I thought this guy might avoid Gibbs and send him back around.
Ooh,
Interesting.
I feel like that's a somewhat fragile backfield, but it could be very good.
Yeah.
I like reaching on H1 personally. I'm taking that risk every time.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody's getting the running back. It seems like here. Should see how
But you just went like in tandem with Gibbs after the recent news, right, Grant?
Yeah, and they're both just like lighter dudes. Like I feel like they're more injury prone than like I don't know,
let's see here.
a Kyron would be or something.
Let's see here. Stanley Porter goes off the board. Olave. Derrick Henry goes way too early. Yeah, just not the pick there, my friend. You got Hilliard back up. Nice. Saquon's fine there. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna stack these two more than likely. It sounds like this trade is going to go through, so I'm going to try to get a little ahead of market in theory here. So I'm going to take the chance of Drake London for them both being in the same offense. Another really good pick here, I think, is Nico Tinkell. Like any of the receivers are fine, but for this one,
You're talking about Ayuk trade?
yeah, Ayuk trade. If that goes through, ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if Joey steals him now that I said that, but is what it is. So if he does do that, though, we will probably make a move for an elite quarterback. So the three options I'm looking at here is Hurts, Debo, Mike Evans, realistically Kelsey. And
I think that
Allen.
makes the Debo value skyrocket.
Skyrocket. Like it just becomes too hard to pass up.
For sure.
But we will see what Joey does here. He goes for Pacheco. All right.
I was about to be able to get Debo in the draft I did, but the person drafting ahead of me was a 49ers fan, so they wanted both CMC and Debo.
Yeah. I don't know. This is going to be a very I'm fascinated to see kind of how the ADP landscape shifts because this is a lot of wild things all happening at once in theory. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. Like you could potentially, if you get in the right draft, I honestly think you can pull off a CMC Gibbs team. Like I don't know. See, you could probably do a CMC Gibbs Debo if you get really lucky. But what are you doing, sir?
The dude that's the first pick in my league, his keeper, he gets Breece Hall in the third. So he's going to have like two running back loaded up already.
Yeah, he needs to go get himself some receivers then. Yeah, so.
Trade away Ramondre Moss and Mike Williams. I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't know how deep your league is, but it feels like you're trading away mostly depth players for two guys that could have
actual roles.
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand the hype around Ramondre. Like I get it to a degree, but it's like, how many catches per game do you expect him to really have?
Yeah.
Like, how are you supposed
Especially with Gibson there too, who's gonna probably
who is just a pass catching back.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna draft Malik Neighbors. Man.
Malik Neighbors.
All right.
Team 5 is nasty. Yeah, Team 5 do go crazy. Auto drafting is always the most elite strat in reality. I think I see what Jackson's doing.
Cooper Kupp there, not bad.
No.
Training camp reports have been strong with that one. What does he do with the time he has left? Tick tock, like the new app for the children. DK Metcalf.
Interesting.
What does Jackson do?
You know me. I got it.
That's what I thought you were going to do.
It's a fun one.
It's a really fun start. Let's see here. Kelsey in the fourth is crazy, but I mean, like, you happen like way too much in drafts. Like, it is pretty wild how consistently it happens.
Yeah, like I'm pretty all right with him once he gets into the fourth round, like pretty much the fourth round exactly.
In fourth round, it's crazy
Oh,
value.
totally.
Like, yeah, it's fortune favors the bold strat. Like, ultimately, I was surprised this guy didn't take him because, like, these first three picks, like, you can really do whatever you want. Like, you can be as crazy as you want. It's just fourth round. If you do decide to not take a single receiver in here, like, that's when you have to take a receiver. This is a spot you have to take one. I like the upside pick, Rachaad White.
Yeah, I was debating between Kelsey and Rashad right there.
I think Kelsey fits you a lot better. Much better play for you.
I like this start for Mexi Madden here.
Mexi Madden back again, cooking it up. Very fun squad. A lot of receiver twos on their teams who have receiver one upside. What do I want to do? Worthy works for the Chiefs. Kelsey could get so many dink and dunks. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that can work for Kelsey. He wants to throw it backwards this year, though, is the big thing you always see of him doing in training camp. He's like, oh, look at me. I want to do another lateral. I'm Travis Kelsey.
Travis Kelsey throwing it back.
Pause. Anyways. Diggs, crazy value there. Genuine chance this could just be the top 10 fantasy receiver in that offense. I will take that swing 10 times out of 10. And then, how do I normally want to play this? There should be fantasy points for lateral yards. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets implemented somehow. How do I want to build here? Jorge is done.
We're approaching that quarterback fall off a little bit.
Yeah, it's always interesting to look at this range because it's like, all right, in this kind of early round, do you want to try to aim for Richardson here, or should you really be like looking more towards Murray build wise?
Like in your slot right here, if you don't take Stroud or Richardson, you are waiting another round and a half or whatever for Kyler.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna aim for Richardson here. Why not? Let's have a little fun. I was looking at Kincaid as well because it's like I don't mind getting an elite tight end that projects really well.
That's where I'm headed.
Yeah, a lot of great ones on the board. My team name in the draft is P.S. Wells. It's also weird just trying to get used to all of the different values in the drafts compared to other platforms.
Damn it.
Joey Mixon. There goes Rashee Rice.
Yeah, I was hoping to get there.
See, I'm always curious to see. It's like, will he ever fall in these rooms? Probably not. Mandrews feels so safe in the fifth. It feels safe. I don't know if it actually is safe. I'll admit. I have a lot of question marks about.
I feel like this is the earliest Rice has gone in one of our drafts, but I mean,
it's valid.
Totally go off whenever, yeah.
Well,
this range on, I don't think anything is crazy.
I have a plan.
I sort of have a plan. Also curious to see exactly who is Pulisic high on this year. Those are always good players to keep an eye on. Who does Pulisic like? He went on that Kyler. Makes sense. If you already have Kyler, I'd go with MHJ, my friend.
What's his username in this?
Tuka Doncic. It's a fun name. Yeah, that was another guy I was looking at. I'm like, I could just pay like a massive premium on George Kittle.
Yeah.
But like, is it really a premium if like Ayuk gets traded? I'll wait till that happens. But that was another guy I was really looking at. Do I like London or stuck with him? It's more of just like if I get a player falling back enough to me, ultimately, like it's just pick a high projected receiver in that range. I think Drake London at that spot is more than fine. Like I'm already pretty high on the Atlanta offense, but you don't need to go with Drake London. It's all about what flavor you like. Devo Samuel probably would be above him in preference, realistically. Would not have minded Mike Evans in that spot. Would not have minded Jalen Hurts. A lot of other players that I really like. Yeah. Keenan Allen, the man who added 20 pounds.
That is a crazy thing to be like a 33-year-old receiver and just be like, yeah, let me check on.
That just tells me he's checked out. Like, he doesn't really, like, he's going to get his, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, I just don't think he's going to be the player people want him to be.
I mean, like, would you rather have Rome?
Yeah. Did you see that clip of him today?
Yeah.
Kid got cut for that. Let's see. Who is on the board? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. It's so weird because it's like you do have to scroll down for like some of the better plays when you're playing with like sharper people in fantasy drafts. Because
Yeah.
it's like Rashee Rice in these sleeper platforms is around like 90s or whatever, which is just insane to me. Little Kitten. Dude, people's fantasy names are always hilarious. All right, so a lot of options here, realistically. Probably should be hunting for another running back. DeAndre Swift, a lot of people are high on. I'm just not really sold. So I'm probably going to be. How do I want to play this? I'm going to be taking a chance on Brock Bowers.
I was just going to say that.
I want the chance and the talent there. Evan Ingram is a more than fine pick here, but like Brock Bowers is just. I want to take the chance. Like I want to take the chance here.
Yeah.
That he ultimately is like this talent that's just quite underpriced.
Yeah.
The
main thing I don't understand about the rankings on Sleeper, like I feel like I would much rather have Deontay Johnson than Rome and Jaden Reed.
Yeah. Like I don't really like the running back picks here, and it's just like though guys, I'll be honest, like I like a lot of the guys that go way later in the draft. So it's like I guess in the spot I would continue to push like receivers. So like Rome Odunze is interesting, but like we're at the point in the draft. Oh damn it, Deontay Johnson already got pulled. You tell people your picks and they steal them from you.
Dude, that's Grant that drafted you.
Screw it. Brian Thomas. We're going with that one for funsies. Genuine chance he's a wide receiver one in that offense. I'm just trying to shoot for as many guys who have the highest target shares. Realistically, you can take shots on Chris Godwin, Rome Odunze. This is probably a terrible reach on my end. But you're just trying to shoot for upside. And considering that, like, initially we did see him in 2 wide receiver sets with Gabe, who knows? Maybe it falls towards him.
Nope.
Tick-tock, little kitten. Time's up, little kitten. There goes Rome Odunze. Like, Jaden Reed's a great pick, but it's like we're just going to need to see more snaps because this back receiving core is way too open. Oh, there was a much better pick here I could have reached on. I'm an idiot. All right, we'll see if he gets taken. But yeah, if you want just like guaranteed points, Zamir White is a very strong pick, realistically.
I'm about to pick.
Let's see here.
Damn.
Jonathan Brooks sucks for the first 6 weeks, but is a league winner in the back half. That's the hard part. Tony Pollard looks to be kind of doing better between the two, but it's a 60-40 split. Nick Chubb, worst pick on the board. Zach Moss was like sick or something, I think. yeah, I don't really know what to make of that kind of debut there. But yeah, just a lot of other picks that I like later in the board that are just going to provide you more stability at the running back position, at least out the gate. So honestly, I probably would go Jonathan Brooks over Brian Thomas here. I think that is the much smarter play. And then build back to Joe Hubbard. Okay. So that's where the flaw was ultimately in that. Take Jonathan Brooks there, I guess. Or Regent Chuba, one of the two. I'm higher on Jefferson now just because people fade him more.
Okay. Come on, Pulisic.
Jonathan Brooks.
Had to do it.
Had to do it to him. Thoughts and Gibbs, I don't overthink it. Dak Prescott. Man on a mission by himself. He knows that Jalen Tolbert's the next Devontae Adams. Richardson keeper in the 12th sounds like a really fun time.
Yeah, what is Mikey DeRosa cooking? Yes, 5 receivers.
He's just he's
I mean, I
going
guess
after
he's taking the
target
value. You could always trade him for something, but like,
I don't mind this. He's having fun with it. I like how he's playing.
but like they're not going to be able. You can't play all. You can't. You
like this is a terrible pick. Don't get me wrong. Like you definitely should have
There you
taken
go.
Kyler here.
There's something.
But I like Fergie. But there's a lot of mobile quarterbacks that go late this year compared to what previous.
Yeah.
Like that's the weird part about this draft.
Yeah, like you could even just take like Jaden and be
Exactly.
all right.
Or Caleb.
Yeah.
Like this pick right here, though, it's just terrible. Though I'm sorry, Big Rob. Why? Like you have no reason to take that there. Like he doesn't do really anything for you. Like I can understand it, but like there's better upside plays than Dak. K Vernon. Well, that's what let's see inside it. So it's probably his championship week winning squad, I'd imagine, right? Romathan Odunze. G Packer fan. I assume that's a Green Bay Packer fan. It's not worth that price either. I agree. I just don't think that you should be paying passing quarterbacks outside of like Mahomes and Stroud based off and realistically Burrow based off the weapons attached to them and their history. Oh no, little kitten, what are we going to do? It's not here to time to make a pick. Boo. Oh, no, they're back.
Lad McConkey.
Damn it! Why did he not take Njoku?
What the? I'm tripping.
Why are you tripping?
Because I'm trying to find Khalil Shakir. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's why. I was like, "What? Why is he not popping up?" I was in the running back tab. That makes a lot more sense now.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
I am, but we can get a lot of running backs late in this draft. Whereas sharper receiver room, I want to try to get all my receiving guys quicker.
There's a different bill that I would have had in mind.
Lots of filler points. Like, who's behind Devin Singletary now? It's just Eric Gray. So he's probably going to be on the field the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So we have filler points. Unfortunately, Tyrone Tracy probably won't be playing this season in TTG.
Yeah. Sad news.
Says Jordan Love win Super Bowl MVP against the Texans. That'd be crazy. What happened to Tracy? What was the exact diagnosis? It was. Let's see. That's McCarthy's thing. All right. So speculation is a ankle dislocation / fibula fracture for Tyrone Tracy.
God.
But he was carted off of the practice field today. Do I like Debo or DK more? I like Debo.
Go for sure.
4 bullets in the chamber.
Okay.
Chiefs rookie running back Carson Steele has a pet alligator named Crocky J.
Crocky. What are buys? On the prediction strike app sub. On the prediction strike. These are your buys.
Nice.
Ooh, that's big rock. Mikey. Oh, JD Dub. I don't mind that to a degree.
Mikey DeRosa's sick now. I think he thought he could wait out and take him.
Yeah, he was like, oh, well, yeah, that kind of screws him. But ultimately, that does happen in fantasy draft rooms. And Rage picked Trey Benson.
It's an interesting looking team. We have a lot of assets there. Just I don't know how it
Assets is one way to
comes
describe
together.
it. Let's see here. Oh, so Curtis Samuel had him taken off the board, right? That he was.
Yeah, it's right after. Yeah.
Alright, it's me, so.
Come on.
Alright, what do we like here? So, I'm going to be a greedy man and reach on Jeff Palmer. Bada bing, bada boom.
Don't mind that at all.
Yeah. Now I have all the potential receiver value in the room. I feel like I'm rather confident in that. The only other guy I could probably go after is like Romeo Dobbs, but like those receivers are just going to be transitioned so quickly in and out. All right, so let's look at running backs that are available on the board. All right, so so for safety purposes, if you're concerned about point production for this team, there's 2 ways to play this. You can go with Chuba Hubbard, because we know he's likely to be the RB1 right out the gate. Really like that upside. J.K. Dobbins has a lot of optimism at the moment. It's just like he's only signed for $50,000. That's my kind of concern there. If Rico Dowdle's the
J.K.
RB1,
Dobbins is only signed for $50,000.
yeah. So the pick I'm going to
How
go
is
with
that
Chuba
even-
Hubbard. is just for redraft right now. JK and Rico are much, much, much better picks if we get confirmation of any sorts that they are the like confirmed one.
How is it possible that he's only getting paid 50K?
I have no idea. That's why I didn't even like think about him this whole offseason, was because his contract was like literally the worst I've ever seen. So yeah, I don't get it with him, but it's the deal. Otherwise, I would be like, I'll probably be taking chances on those, but there are some younger running backs I think could usurp the starter right out the gate that I want to have on my bench as well.
So if he makes the roster, he'll make 1.7 this year, but it's just 50K
Okay.
guaranteed, I guess, because of the injury concerns,
I think
which
that's
is a
what-
terrible deal for whoever his agent is. But
Yeah,
maybe that's all they could get, I guess.
that man injury prone as hell. I mean, yeah, that does turn to 1.7 if he like actually goes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see. T-Law with Mini Benson Stack, Ridley. They're not on the same team anymore. Yeah. When he took Dak, ran out of time. Who did you want? Jaden. Oh, yeah, you wanted Jaden. I'm surprised. Or Chucker. That's hilarious. Josh Downs, I like the upside pick there. Fun pick. And he's got both sets Cincinnati. So either way, it should break in your favor. Miss Miso, can I help you? Sleepy girl. Yeah, I will never understand. Damn you, Big Rob, bastard. I will never understand these cats, though. They are absolutely chaotic. She's like the sweetest girl ever, but I'm confident she's the one giving Toothless battle scars.
Oh, you think they're scrapping behind your back?
Oh, dude, they're full on scrapping because Toothless is like, he's aggressive, and like if she's on my lap or something, he's like, hey, get off there. If like she like Garfield's in the bed with us or whatever, and like he's like cuddling too close with Sophie, like he's whacking Garfield in the face and be like, yo, that's my face. So he's got a bit of sass to him. So I'm just like, damn it, Toothless. But yeah, like checked him the other day, and he's got like just like a full on like little bit of blood underneath his chin and like on his ear, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And he just looks at me, just ready to go back to war, and I'm like, can you just calm down, please, for like 2 minutes, sir? But yeah, he's been entertaining, to put it lightly. We got Bubba Gump Fantasy. What's your draft strategy, Billy? I feel like we got to go RBs and start and get the wide receivers later on. Yeah, that's kind of how I've been doing it. As you guys know, I'm a very big Ray Davis guy this year. I believe he is ultimately going to be relevant. Kimani Vidal might not make the roster. Kind of interesting, but who knows? Maybe he'll be a future Dallas Cowboy. And then, yeah, we always take Estime at the end for the culture. We live and die by the Estime sword. Trade Pop Douglas in a 2025 third for Deontay. I feel like I'd want the Deontay side of that because he's going to have probably a few great years with Carolina, I'd imagine, honestly, from a fantasy standpoint. All right, give me Estime for the culture. Where is it?
Wells, is there someone you would take? Like the way my league is set up is we can obviously use a keeper a round earlier than the last year. Is there someone I should be looking at in the 15th round that's like huge potential for the next season?
I mean, realistically, like Estime and Davis are the lead guys for that. Davis more likely than Estime based on what we saw like out the gate. The reason like I do hold more interest for these two is like I just like to look at the chessboard and like who's playing on the chessboard. So it's like there's really good ties for them in the background that point to them being used, and it's like when you look at their usage roles, it's like they were being tested out in the past game, which to me is like a very big tell because these two specifically are bruiser backs. Like when you look at them, they're just going to be your goal line get back. They're going to be the guys running it in. But like the offense is what they're trying right now is like, can these guys actually be 3-down backs? That's what they want to test. So like Ray Davis and Estime are guys I'm really keeping an eye on. Same thing with like Bucky Irving. They all
Draft Bucky, dude.
Greg Dulcich could honestly be like the smash of all smashes potentially. Like he could be this year's Trey McBride. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he led that team somehow with targets. But this year it's not as easy to be like these are the absolute guarantees. Like Jalen Polk is technically like a good option. Same thing with Javon Baker because it's like one of those receivers will break out realistically with Drake May in theory at the latter part of the year. Hell, Drake May could honestly be one of the best kind of holds because of his mobility. But you can make a similar argument with like Bo Nix. Like, I don't know. The whole entire mobility factor is going to be very interesting this year for fantasy. Like, weird stat, but like, what's his name? Bo Nix had 38 rushing touchdowns in 61 games. Like, what the hell? Makes no sense. Lots of options, though. I'm sure we'll get a lot more kind of clearer things here soon enough. You don't have to decide immediately who your keeper is, right? He's on the phone. But Jax might be more familiar with that. So,
Picked up Dulcich.
so. What the hell can this girl? Deshaun Watson. Bum 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 bum. Barbara Streisand. My name is Cleveland. All right, let's see. Now we go to the kickers and we go to defenses.
Are you just singing the Cleveland Brown theme song?
Maybe, maybe not. You'll never know. Do we have the culture pick in here? No, I Grant might have already taken him.
Is that Bucker? No, somebody snagged him.
Damn it.
That is the culture pick.
I'm going with McPherson then. Next best one.
You were talking about Audric, right?
Yeah. Audric's very enticing. I really like the upside for him in the long run of it, just like prospect wise. Just somebody who's really underrated. But it's hard to find the super late guys this year, I will admit. Like if you want like a really weird one though, that like genuinely could be Puka, because it's like I don't know, you think about it, right? What if the Rams capsize this year, right? Like what if Cooper Kupp doesn't have like live? Who becomes relevant all of a sudden? Jordan Whittington. Like that's somebody to kind of keep on your radars now because he really showed out. Oh shit, it's my pick. Yeah, defense, just pick out whoever's playing against the Saints. More often than not, you're probably going to do very well. Let's see here. Like, I'm just going to go with the Dolphins, though, because I really like Malik Washington. I just think he's really good. I think he's got a place in the NFL. Young Debo. Alrighty
I
then.
think this is my favorite of the mocks we've had so far.
Time to go through the teams. Alrighty.
Oh, Mikey took my guy.
So looking at Joey here, I actually don't mind this outside of the Kamara pick just because it's like, I think you do need to reach on another receiver here. Obviously, you're not going to be confident in how the rest of your draft's going to play out. But it's like Keon Coleman is genuinely a question mark. Tyler Lockett is at the very back end of his career. Like he might be Old Yeller at this point. We like it just might be time. You feel me? Taysom Hill's a fun kind of take later, but like, yeah, I don't mind it. So nothing negative there. This wasn't Old Yeller. I was going to make another movie reference, but that one's definitely not appropriate. Yeah, this dog's been dead out to pasture for a while. Quentin
You
Johnson.
say Lenny?
No, they're just. I'll send the movie reference to you guys, or once we're offline here. Let's see here. Let's look at Grant's team. So the Kenneth Walker pick, he's a high fantasy community pick. It's just like it's another bad offensive line situation. So it's like I have a hard time being on board with it, but it's like I see the vision. Deontay Johnson, we talked about how we love that. We talked like DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Walker, one of those will hit. I think that's a fair way to look at that. Blake Corum, Zach Charbonnet. If this man does not leave the draft with at least one Michigan player, I'm convinced that it's not a draft that's drafted by Grant. But yeah, overall, like the team, fun upside swings at the end. Yeah, like you're playing for upside for the receivers, love it. And you're just trying to get the right swing at running back. It's the right way to play it.
Yeah, I think when I tend to prioritize two running backs in the first 4 rounds like this, then the receiver picks later. Take a couple guys that are consistent in like D-Hop and probably Curtis Samuel, and then you can kind of take some shots later. But
exactly. Are you the Steelers? I don't know if that's been announced yet, but that seems to be the direction that it is trending. But with that said, we get to go over to Sweet Little Kitten. Travis Etienne and Jacobs, questionables, but like I think they're fine for your running back picks. You're just trying to build out volume here, it looks like, with your running backs, which is fine for leagues like this. But I think you're ultimately running way too thin at receiver because players like Lyle McConkey love the like kind of route running ability, like Hunter Renfrow-esque. It's just, can he stay healthy? That is the real question mark.
Oh, heads up, these 3 teams went to auto.
These 3?
Yeah.
Oh, well. But yeah, Kendre, that's an auto pick, and there. Yeah. So we'll move on. G. Packer, nothing to say. K. Vernon, you unfortunately went auto, but you reached on Rice like you should. Yeah, you need better running backs here. This isn't enough. Let's see here. Lowy, Lucy. Let's see here. Derrick Henry, worst pick in that round. James Cook, caution around that one. Think Mark Andrews is fine. David Montgomery, usage bump for the time being. That's not guaranteed. Jordan Love, I just encourage you to aim for mobility in running backs, quarterbacks. Hollywood Brown could be the one, but he's likely going to be at least for, I'd imagine, a game would be my kind of guesstimation. Christian Watson, fun upside. Gus Edwards, I think he's kind of in the doghouse because he got surgery in the offseason. Cortland Sutton, not really a guy I tout too heavily just because it's like he is the most likely for regression. Gabe Davis, honestly, fun upside play. Don't mind it at all. You're leaving the draft with a Denver running back. I think that's wise.
if you look back at that K. Vernon team, do you think Najee there? Like, I feel like it looks a little different or better with either of the 2 guys that went right after him in a lot of ways. Like, I feel like Zamir, the round after it, can kind of play when you take receivers earlier.
So it's like I like these picks,
I'm
right?
definitely higher on Jones and potentially even Mostert than Najee, but I mean, you never know.
I really would have gone towards Jones. I think Najee is more than fine pick, but it's like this is just too thin for me. You need to have more upside because Marshawn Lloyd's battling like a hamstring issue right now, right? Like you have to like. There's a lot of these running backs that you could have looked at later, and like I would have been like, this is a more than fine running back room because you've like a third that you can pivot in here to feel confident. Like you only have 2 guys that could be starters and one that is guaranteed to be in a committee. Like what if Zamir White is like sharing work with Dylan Labe, like or one of these other backs that seem to be getting hyped up a little bit more in camp.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, then your running back room is really thin. So it's like unless your like receivers are super sun running, which they could be, it's just going to be hard to kind of get.
Yeah, like I would have taken a Devin Singletary there, or like even like a Chuba or someone who can be like a stopgap for a while because he's going to be the starter for a bit.
Exactly. Like you just want fill points to make sure that you can get ahead. And it's like realistically, try to trade out is kind of my logic. That's why I take a lot of swings on receivers because I know I'm pretty good at picking out like the guys who are most likely to emerge as wide receiver ones in their rooms. And more often than not, people like to pair a guy who sees decent usage with another decent usage guy. So you can put these 2 together and get a player that typically is around this range after that performances. Jackson and Grant are very good at helping you guys form those trades for what it's worth. So make sure to direct all trade questions towards them because they're better about those than I am. I typically go, ooh, smash, good player, and not think about the 2 wives. Moving forward, though, we have Maxime Madden here. All right, here. So upswings on the receivers. I don't mind it. Kyle Pitts. It's going to be interesting to see how his season plays out. I'm just not a Zay Flowers guy, but honestly, probably at this pick, it's probably a smash. Let's see here. Jaden Reed. Yeah, but just we'll see how the receiving room plays out there. And then swings on running backs. Love this team, Maxi Matty. Love this team. Lots of fun swings. I'm not a big Alger guy, but it's just like that is because of how high I am on Bijan. Ultimately, these are fun handcuffs to have. Like the team overall, probably the best one that we've gone through here. Let's see here. Mikey DeRosa. AJ Brown, yeah, this is a very fun, sexy team. Questionables around the running backs, but you're playing it well. You have your own handcuff with Trey Benson here. Like you and Jackson did this. I was going to talk about this with Jackson's as well. But like I think this is just a really good way to go about redraft this year with how kind of just teams are shifting their strategy to just be more commidified. Is getting both pieces of the coin because this older running back may fall out and then all of a sudden Trey Benson's usage goes up. Like perhaps Trey Benson is just in like a 50-50 split, but like he gets all the pass catching work. Like there's a lot of ways that like this guy ends up paying off or this one doesn't. And in redraft, you can play yourself in and out there. So I really don't
like when I take Kenneth Walker, I always try to leave with Charbonnet.
Exactly. Let's see here. Outside of that, Xavier Legette, Bubba Gump, I think he's fun. But like he's probably just not going to be as relevant you want. Like interesting best ball pick at most. Bucky Irving, like he is what I say. Like he's in the SMA Ray Davis conversation right now. Like these three are the most intriguing rookies to me from running back perspective. Very enticed to see how they progress forward. Let's see here. Pulisic's team. Yeah, I mean he's going to build just a strong team. He's a very strong fantasy player. He knows what he's doing. Like this is one of the ugliest picks on the board. And it will always be taken in sharp draft rooms just because the upside is truly there. So Pulisic continuing with more and more sharp takes. I feel like he wouldn't have taken Pat Freiermuth if like the whole entire IU thing was confirmed as well. Let's see here. Let's look at Jackson's team. So Puka, JT, fun little start there. Took the value. So question marks around Christian Kirk's usability, but that realistically I could just be playing too much with the feathers in the wind here. With Christian Kirk and just being like, oh, he's not in 2 wide receiver sets off of 10 snaps. I have a tendency to do that. So let's see here. Outside of that, though, Jonathan Brooks, love like what I talked about earlier. Just love that you did this because it's like we don't know. It's an open room. Like we really don't know who the true guy is. And a lot of things happen this season. So you're playing both angles of it. You got the more explosive guy and you have a guy who seems to be theoretically the stronger option. Gibson, handcuff, love the option, especially with the receiving department. We talked about the upside specifically with these receivers. Like, Worthy's still a guy I just can't find myself taking, but it's like I can understand the way he breaks correctly. And I'm just drastically wrong on that take.
Looking back on it right there, I might have taken Chris Godwin rather than Xavier Worthy in that spot.
Yeah, because it's a new coordinator, and it's like if he's in the Cooper Cup role, then it's like he's the one that's going to just break slates.
Yeah.
But yeah, love this team as usual. Let's see here. Gibbs, H.N. Cup. All right, so I think this was the team that had a meltdown. Yeah, this was the team that ended up doing pretty well, honestly, with their draft. Yeah, this Dak Prescott pick was just made zero sense. I don't mind any of the picks outside of that. Just the Dak one just really threw you off. Mike Williams, you're playing for upside there, but like, I don't know. That's just the best ball pick to me if you're going to be taking the Mike Williams one. J.K. Dobbins and Dowdle. Yeah, those are fine. Let's see here. Mooney and Pearsall. Yeah, if we're in best ball, I can see it. But in this kind of vision, it's harder to see those guys being super relevant fantasy. Like, I don't think Mooney's going to be 85% of what Addison was. Overall, I would say favorite team, though, was Maxi Madden's. I really like this one. I really like Jackson's. And, of course, Pulisic and Grant's as well. Those ones stuck out to me. Things I need to do better is probably identify my running back room a little bit better. We'll see how it plays out. With that said, yeah, another little hour here of time. Appreciate you guys for coming in, subscribing, watching, yelling out, looking at these fantasy teams, and yeah, chatting away with us here. We'll be back tomorrow for some more fantasy football mock draft action. Probably have some more news, updates, etc. So be live then at 2 p.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars. And then I think we're going to dive into DWSUS tonight, or Jackson's got some picks of that. So if he wants to talk about those guys real quick, anyone to keep an eye on tonight, let him chat about that for a quick second.
Yeah, let me pull this up here. So, I mean, I think right now we're getting Lone Air Kavanaugh at pretty good prices. He IPO'd at 350 on PS, and his opponent Anho IPO'd at $3. I know we've had some buy volume on the Kavanaugh side of things. Also, I like I like where his odds have gone in pretty much all markets. But obviously, there's been some buys here on PS. Pulling that up now. Why is this loading? There we go. So Lone Air's at 363, so he's gone up a full 13 cents. That's pretty significant buy volume. Icaro Brito was replaced, so Ernie Juarez is now fighting. We just IPO'd him last night, but I haven't looked into him too much. But this was a very recent replacement, and it's Jose Delgado. We IPO'd him at $4.50. That's because Ernie Juarez, I believe, we IPO'd at $4. So honestly, pretty good value on the Delgado side of things. I know there's a lot of hype around him, more so than there was with Icaro. Well, I mean, Icaro Brito's kind of hyped. He's from the Fighting Nerds, but Delgado, good price for him. Yeah, it's pretty much the shouts I would give for DWCS this coming card.
We also have a whole podcast posted if you want more in-depth coverage from every fight. So that's on this YouTube channel that you're watching the stream through. So check that out as well if you want some insight.
Definitely. And if you have any fantasy questions, leave them in the comments. We'll do our best to get to them.
Or in the Discord. There's constant flow of conversation there about trades or any questions you may have. So check it out.
Appreciate you all. Have a great day. Don't eat too many spicy things like Grant and Jackson do. But yeah, until next time, peace, y'all.
Peace.